Hello, everybody. A good Erev Yom Tov. I hope that everybody's Pesach plans are, if not totally finished, then close to being finished, and everybody has what they need, and everything is arranged and Misudah. I really wish that I would be able to talk to you on Yom Tov. First of all, I wish I could see you all on Yom Tov. Secondly, on Yom Tov, people have more time, and I would be able to get across these points that I want to get across, that I want to convey, more deliberately. But I recognize that circumstances as they are, people are going to be watching this. If you're watching this, it's probably Erev Yom Tov, and you don't have that much time, and certainly not that much attention span. So therefore, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. I want to make 4 points that I feel are important to convey for this Yom Tov. Point number 1. Yom Tov, Pesach, as we know, Leil Seder is the time to work on our Emunah. It's the time to really firm up our belief in the Rabbi Shalom. And in Yitzias Mitzrayim, the HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mitzrayim chose us as a nation and gave us the Torah. Rabbi Emanuel once said, he famously said, "Don't ever let a good crisis go to waste." Okay, this certainly applies to the coronavirus. This is a crisis, but don't let it go to waste. If there's ever a time that we could work on our Amunah and solidify our Amunah in the Rabbi Shalom, it's now. Somebody told me that the entire coronavirus in the entire world, if you would condense all the virus, it could fit into one ounce shot glass. That means that all the virus, the entire world, shutting down countries, shutting down the world, killing tens of thousands of people, can fit is 1 ounce shot glass that the Rabbi Shalom put into the world because he decided that this is what the world needs. If there's ever a time where we see the Yad Hashem, and where we could really understand Tzias Mitzrayim, sometimes the Makkos, they seem like just not something we could wrap our arms around. Turning all the water to blood, Dever, Makkos, Bechiras, plagues, it's something which is foreign to us. Now is a time where we could really feel the Makkos, we could really understand it. The Malbusha Yom Tov, every time when he made a Seder, every Seder night, he would start off the same way. He would say to his family, we're making a Seder, and not only are we making a Seder, but everybody in the neighborhood is making a Seder. Everybody in the city, everybody in the country, all Yidden throughout the world are all making a Seder tonight, and they're all drinking 4 cups of wine, and they're all eating matzah, and they're all eating myrrh. Why are they all doing this? I'm doing it because my father did it. And the Sephardi Yid in Spain, or wherever any Yid might be, is doing it because his father did it. And his father did it because his grandfather did it, and all the way up. And I'm doing it because my grandfather did it, and my great-grandfather did it, and my great-great-great-grandfather did it. Why are we all doing the same thing? It must be that we all reach together with one generation, another generation, till we all meet together at the generation that left Mitzrayim. And that's why we all do a Seder. And this is evidence to us. This that we observe the Seder is evidence to us that Yitzias Mitzrayim is real. Yitzias Mitzrayim is true. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. Why are all Jews doing a Seder? This is further evidence that Yitzias Mitzrayim is true. The Torah is true. This has to be real by us. If there's one thing that has to come out of the Seder night, it has to come out. It has to be firmly in our hearts that this really happened, that this is true, this is fact. I believe in Yitzias Mitzrayim. I believe that Hashem took us into Mitzrayim and took us out of Mitzrayim, chose us as a nation, did all the Nisim and Aflois and Mitzrayim and by the Yam Tov, and gave us the Torah. And as I mentioned, this year it's easier than any other year to really get that into our hearts, into our minds, and to really believe that. Point number 2. People are worried that Mashiach is coming. Mashiach is coming. I think it's going to be soon, but we don't know exactly when. But Mashiach is definitely coming, and people are worried about it. Don't be worried about it. Reb Chaim Kanievsky said that what you should do to prepare for Mashiach, one of the things he said is to work on, the first thing I think is that he said to work on your humility, to work on your anava, to work on being a humble person. Obviously, to work on being a humble person with your fellow man and with your family, but also work on your humility towards the Rabbi Shalom. I know somebody who he has a hard time bowing Kairim on Yom Neram. When it comes time for Kairim, he goes down quickly, back up. It's difficult for him because he's so proud. He's such a kaichi va'etzam yadi person that it's hard for him to just totally humble himself and say that there is a power, there is a God that I'm totally dependent on. And it's a real shame to be like that. What we have to do is we have to use this opportunity to realize we have to have total humility to the Rabbi Shalom. We make all these plans, vacations, where I'm going for Yom Tov, retirement accounts. We plan everything, and the Rabbi Shalom just upends it with one shot glass of coronavirus. So we have to work on our humility towards the Rabbi Shalom. We say at the end of Yom Kippur, Hashem hu Elokim. Hashem is the Elokim. Elokim is the power. Hashem has the power over everything. Everything I do, everything I have, every breath I take is only thanks to Rabbi Shalom. We should work on our humility, and then we don't have to be worried about Mashiach coming. We mentioned in one of the shiurim, the mashal from the Erev Tavshilin. The Erev Tavshilin is a lesson to us. The Erev Tavshilin, what's the Erev Tavshilin? Erev Tavshilin is that before Pesach we start preparing for Shabbos, and then we're allowed to continue preparing on Erev Shabbos, even though it's Yom Tov. And what we're saying to Rabbi Shalom, really I would want to prepare everything now before Yom Tov starts, because you're not supposed to prepare on Yom Tov for Shabbos. But I can't prepare for the whole Shabbos on Wednesday. I just can't do it. So the Rabbi Shalom says, okay, start preparing now, and then you could continue on Friday. It's the same thing. It's a mashal ta'il mazeh. If we start coming close to Rabbi Shalom after Mashiach comes, it doesn't work. There's no bechira anymore. But if we start taking meaningful steps to come close to Rabbi Shalom now, before Mashiach comes, then we don't have to become the Chafetz Chaim in one day. We start taking meaningful steps of humbling ourselves before the Rabbi Shalom, recognizing that Rabbi Shalom is in charge of everything. Then we could continue coming close to Rabbi Shalom after Mashiach comes. Okay, step number 3. Number 3 and 4 are points that I want to make from the Maror. The Maror, it's a big question. We say Pesach, Matzah, and Maror. Why does the Maror come last? Maror should have come first. It should be Maror, Pesach, Matzah, because Maror is the bitterness of Mitzrayim. Why is the Maror coming last? I want to say 2 answers, and these 2 answers are going to be 2 lessons. Answer number 1. The reason why the Maror comes last, Rabbi Salanter says, is because the Maror is the reason why we're Zeichet to Pesach and Matzah. Pesach and Matzah is the Geula. And what we're saying is we have Pesach, we have Matzah. Why? Because of what we did in the times of the bitterness of Mitzrayim. Because we remained Yidden and we looked like Yidden and spoke like Yidden and retained our Jewish names and we davened to Hashem in the times of bitterness. This is a lesson to us. Circumstances, this Yom Tov might be a little bit difficult. It might be a little bit difficult to feel the Yom Tov. It might be a little bit difficult to observe the Yom Tov properly. But if we persevere and keep the Yom Tov properly, and we sing out loud, even if it's just me, myself, and I'm going to sing out loud. I'm going to sing Hallel. I'm going to sing. I'm going to have a heart of davening. I'm going to do whatever I could to observe the Yom Tov with heart. That is a tremendous chus for us. And then we will be zeicha to Yom Tovim, together with family and friends, to Yom Tovim, Mitzvah Shem Yerushalayim. We will be zeicha to all kinds of good if we observe the Yom Tov under difficult circumstances. Last point. Another answer that's given why the Maror is last. The reason why we say the Maror last is because we're showing the Rabbi Shalom. I understand that just like the Pesach and the Matzah was Geula, the current Pesach was Geula, the Matzah was when we left Mitzrayim, I now see that the Maror, which seemed bitter at the time, is also Geula, was also good. Which, Rabbi Shalom, I know that what seems to me as bitterness is really good. We say in Hallel, Hashem kol goyim shavchu kol ha'umim, ki gavar aleinu chasdei, because he has strengthened over us his kindness. He has strengthened over us his kindness. What does that mean? We should say that Hashem has given us his kindness, has been mashpia his kindness. What does it mean he has strengthened his kindness? That means that a lot of times the kindness is something which we think is not kindness. It seems like a tzara to us. All the kids are home and lonely Yom Tov, and let's not even talk about the financial situation and all these people dying. It seems like a tzara. No, we are showing Hashem, I understand that even the Maror is chesed. That's gavar oleinu chesed. Hashem has strengthened over us his chesed. Even when we seem to be like not accepting it as a chesed and we think it's a tzara, Hashem says, I'm going to force this upon you because I know that it's chesed. We say that we're showing Hashem, we recognize and acknowledge that the Maror is chesed as well. Okay, Rabbi say, I hope that these 4 points were meaningful to you. We should be zeicha to a wonderful Yom Tov, a Yom Tov where our hearts soar closer and closer to Rabbi Shalom, and we should be benched with kol tov, baruch nias, ubegashmias. Good Yom Tov.